Stop suffering, start solving. There's a mentality I see going around more and more lately, one that encourages being a prisoner of circumstance. There's this idea that sometimes life just beats you down, and there is nothing you could have done differently to prevent that. Maybe this might surprise you, but there are elements of that I absolutely agree with. Bad luck as we know it is simply part of the human experience. Our loved ones can get sick. We can lose those we care about. We can find ourselves at the wrong end of someone else's ill will. As much as I can preach accountability, I can't be there to drill it into your head. If you have an example of something that happened to you where there was nothing you could have done differently, I won't try to convince you otherwise. I don't have any right to. But what I will ask, regardless of the severity of whatever situation you encountered, is for you to make a switch. Stop thinking about what you could have done and start focusing on what you can do. That flip represents what actionable steps are, a choice to control today's outcome rather than letting yesterday's control you. If you missed a day in the gym, an actionable step is making sure you clear your schedule ahead of time to get right back to it. If you did poorly on an exam, email your prof if there are any opportunities for extra credit, or better yet, if you can attend office hours and get a chance to review your mistakes. Even with more complex situations, when things are harder to navigate both emotionally and logically, this approach still takes you far. If you lost a loved one, don't lament on the time you could have spent with them. Instead, it's best to shift your focus on how you can best honor their memory. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, tell you that's an easy switch to make, but it is the best path forward. Although all of these events bring about a different type of suffering, there's one thing that remains consistent throughout all of it. Suffering compounds. It's just on you not to let it. If you can do this, no matter how hard it actually is, the process of finding actionable steps almost becomes like a reflex whenever anything happens. As much as it is important to approach things from a solving mindset, that can be a double-edged sword if you're only concerned with the big picture and the whole problem. Oftentimes, it is most effective to take things one actionable step at a time. Even the tallest of walls started with one brick. So instead of marveling and obsessing over how a building could have gone that tall in the first place, why don't you lay your own brick one at a time, and eventually you'll have built a solution before you even realize. Actionable steps are not excuses for avoiding difficult emotions. In fact, they can be a very pragmatic approach to confronting them. There is nuance in this discussion, like everything we bring to the well. You are allowed to sit with emotions. You are allowed to feel them. But just don't suffer more than you have to by stoking new flames on top of old ashes. Sometimes an actionable step can be reflecting. The key is to take control. At least you know what you're doing and why you're doing it instead of being a bystander to your own life. So I leave this in the well for you all. Stop suffering, start solving.